What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. Today we got a special video for you guys. It's very special because we're reviewing the Fender American Special Stratocaster. Get it? Special? Alright. It's also very special because this is my favorite guitar in my collection. So I have three Stratocasters. This is a Strat, so this is one of those three. I have a Telecaster, I have a Jazzmaster, I have a Epiphone, ES333, and I think that's it for my electric guitars. So I have 6 electric guitars, and out of those 6, this one is my favorite. And I'll be telling you why in a little bit. But in this video, I'm going to be going over the specs of it. We're going to be... Oh, looks like we have a visitor. Someone's scratching at the door. Vente. Hola. Dile hola a la cámara. Dile hola a la raza. A la racita. No. ¿Te agüitas? Una agüitation station. Oh my gosh, she's shedding everywhere, guys. Like, I literally just vacuumed the couch for this video. And as I pet her, you just see all the hairs. Bueno. So, yeah, we're going to be going over all the specs. I'm actually going to restring it. I don't know if y'all could notice, but it's missing a string. I popped it like 2 weeks ago. And I've been using my other guitars for those 2 weeks. But it's time for me to start using this one again. So I'm going to be doing a setup on this, oiling up the fretboard, polishing up the frets, show y'all how I do that, telling y'all the story about how I got this guitar, and yeah, just things like that. So stick around. Oh, of course, I'm also going to be showing y'all what it sounds like, but that's after I set it up and everything. I mean, it is set up, but I have to like restring it because I have a pop string. And yeah, if you pop a string, I recommend just changing all the strings at once and then just putting them all. Because then you're going to have like one string that sounds brighter than the rest. And that's not very pleasant. So yeah, let's get some close-ups of this. And then we'll get the strings off and start the process. Alright, so this is what she looks like up close. Ignore the really rusty strings. And that's because I replaced a lot of these strings a few years ago. But I mean, I guess the humidity where I live, my really sweaty hands, it adds to the rust. But yeah, everything on here is stock, which means it like came with the guitar, except I switched these out. So before these, I had some different saddles. I'll see if I could pull up a picture of the saddles that like comes with somewhere on the sides. But these are like Graphtec saddles. See the little black part there? So that has a graphite there, and it's supposed to add lubrication and not let the strings pop as much, which is, I mean, pretty funny because I have this one popped. But now there was a while where I kept popping my D string like over and over and over and over, like every few like weeks, you know. And I invested in these. I think they were like 90 bucks, but I definitely recommend it. So this is what this looks like. I really like that it has this giant 70s headstock. It's like big. I think they did that just so they could show off the logo more back then when they would like record and the guitars would come out on TV. You know, it's just to promote that. And this is a painting of this one that my wife made. But it's like cottagecore or something. But yeah, it looks cool. It has these tuners, which they're not Fender locking tuners, but they're pretty good. They keep my guitar in tune for the most part. Speaking of keeping the guitar in tune, I don't really use a whammy bar that much because it whacks my guitar out of tune when I try to use it. So this one, I try to just use it without. And then if I need to do like a whammy thing or something, I just move this or like push it in. But yeah, the neck is made of rosewood. As you can see, we're going to be polishing up those frets. Right now they're kind of dull. And the fretboard's a little dirty. So we're going to be polishing that up. Let me go ahead and get these strings off. Alright, so I got this guitar back in like 20... Oh. Back in like 2019. So at that point, I had a Fender Telecaster, my thin line telly with the humbuckers. It's really nice. Still have it. Still a really sweet guitar. But I had always really wanted a really nice Strat. And I wanted it to be like a cool like pastel color. Because I was always like a big fan of Tom DeLonge from Blink-182. Um, so I started to look. I was in the market, and I was like, you know what? I already have like a Mexican-made instrument, which is my telly, and I was like, now I want something that's like higher quality, maybe costs like a little more. So I started to look into like Fender American-made instruments, and this one caught my eye because it was like a cool blue color. I really wanted something with a rosewood fingerboard because my telly had a maple fingerboard, and I also saw that these have jumbo frets. I'm pretty sure my telly has like medium frets, so they're like slimmer. Um, and I'm pretty sure this neck is a little chunkier than the telly as well, and I really like that also. And all these things I didn't really know that I was looking for or that I like needed. At that point, I'm pretty sure I just went for the guitar because it was like a cool blue color and made in the US, and it wasn't like super expensive like other US made guitars. So at the time that these came out, they were retailing, I want to say for like 1,000 or like 1,100. Um, or maybe not like 1,100, but that's with like tax and stuff. I know that because I bought this used back in 2019, and I had been on the market for this specific model, and on Reverb, on eBay, not on Guitar Center, but now I make most of my purchases through Guitar Center, the used online section. I mentioned that on like every freaking video I have. I'm not sponsored. None of this is sponsored. It'd be cool if I was, but yeah, I greatly recommend buying used stuff through Guitar Center because if you don't like it, you can just return it at the store. They give you your money back. Um, but yeah, I actually bought this one off of eBay, and I went through my email right now to so I could see how much I like spent on it, and total with shipping and taxes and everything, this guitar came out to like $771 or something like that, which is like a friggin' bargain for a US made instrument, made in the USA, super high quality. Granted, it's not their like highest end model because it's honestly the most affordable US made instrument they make. But man, I love it. The feel, I really, really, really love this neck, this type of neck. It has like a satin urethane finish, and that's like perfect for me because like I have the sweatiest hands ever. But yeah, this helps my hands still glide even though it's like sweaty, or it like feels comfortable. It's not one of those materials that makes my hands sweat more. I feel like when I play on something that has like a shiny neck on the back, it kind of makes my hands sweat more. And then sometimes my string squeaks because my hands are sweaty and it's just like gross. And yeah, I don't like that, but yeah, so I got the strings off of this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and start covering this up with tape so we can start polishing up the frets. All right, y'all, so we got her all taped up so I can polish up those frets real quick. So to do that, I'm gonna be using sandpaper. I think I got like 12 different grits or something like that. I'm gonna be going from the smallest number, which is 1,500, to the largest number, which is 8,000. So by the end of all these grits, these should be super shiny. So, oh, never mind. The last grit is 12,000. It was still in the baggie. This comes with this little block, so you could hold on to it and just put the paper around there. I like to tape up the whole thing at once, so I could use one grit on all of it, and then the next grit on all of it, and that way I don't have to be switching grit, and it just kind of takes longer that way. But yeah, I can't remember if I covered all the specs on this, so I'll be putting some up on the screen as well, just in case I forgot to mention some of the stuff. So the body on this guitar is made of alder. It's a pretty light wood. It's not a very heavy guitar, so that's pretty good. My my back appreciates that. So again, this guitar is my favorite from all the ones I have. Just the feel of it, the sound of it. So this guitar comes with Texas Special pickups. Those are the type of pickups that Stevie Ray Vaughan used. If y'all don't know who SRV is, I'd go find footage of him playing Little Wing. Honestly, him playing Little Wing is like what blew my mind. It's such a cool song. Um, it's a Jimi Hendrix tune, but SRV like completed it, you know. And those pickups retail for like $270. So that's kind of a steal when you're getting those with this guitar, which is also made in the US. Again, this is their most economical model. This guitar is discontinued. I think after this, it became the American Performer. Okay, so these used to be the Highway 1 series, and then from the Highway 1, they made the American Special, which came with a Texas Special pickup. That's why they named it American Special. And after the American Special, they made it the American Performer series. And I think that's what they're at right now. I'm not sure if they've like upgraded from those, but yeah. Right now, when we get to the tones, you'll hear why I really like this guitar. So on top of the Texas Special pickups, for the tone knobs, it actually comes with the grease bucket tone control. So what that means is that when you lower the tone on your tone knobs, it's not gonna be making your sound more muddy. Cause you know how sometimes when you like lower all the friggin' tone, it starts muddying your sound. Well, this is supposed to keep everything a little more bright and not make your tone like too dark or too muddy. The neck radius on these is a 9.5 neck radius. It's pretty good. Like even if you have big hands, well, it's supposed to be better for bigger hands, but I don't think I have like huge hands, but it's really comfortable. Like compared to all my guitars, this is like my favorite guitar neck. I think I would pick this one, and then my Squire Strat, and then my Jazzmaster, and then my Mexican Strat, and then no, my ES333, and then my Mexican Strat. In terms of like comfortability, I also have reviews on a lot of those other guitars I just mentioned on my channel, so feel free to check it out. My Squire Strat I just brought back from the dead. It hadn't been used in like years. It was my first electric guitar, and man, I really like playing that one too. It's not my favorite because this is my favorite, but um, they're not even that different in tone, even though there's like a huge difference in like the price. So now I'm getting to the less grittier papers, the ones that are more shiny and less gritty. The gritty, and now I'm seeing these be a little more bright and shiny. So that's what we want. That's what we want. So when I bought this guitar off of Reverb, the guy sent it with a receipt when he got it at Guitar Center. So I guess he got it at Guitar Center in like 2018 when these came out, and he sold it real quick because I bought it in 2019, and I checked the serial number on this thing, and this one was made in 2018. So literally, the guy had it for a year, and then I bought it as used, and at a steal price because it came with like a nice gig bag, like padded gig bag, Fender padded gig bag, and now I use that one on one of my other Strats because I got like a super nice case for this one. I got a Crossrock case for this one. It's like a hard shell case. Um, I paid like $300 for that case maybe, but this is my favorite guitar and my most expensive one, so I try to like take care of it. Although I'm pretty sure I paid more for some of my other guitars, but retail wise, this one is worth more. I just got it at a steal, and for that I'm very thankful. Cause like, when have you heard of someone paying like $700 for an American made Fender? Like, sheesh. All right, one more paper left. The last one to make them super shiny. All right, y'all. So this is after the polished frets, and check it out. You could see the reflection of the phone on there, even kind of. If it just focused in, but yeah, dude, it's crazy what some sandpaper can do. But yeah, now I'm gonna get this tape off and oil up the fretboard and restring it, and then we'll get to hearing what she sounds like. All right, y'all. So the frets are all polished up. Now I'm gonna oil up the fretboard. I like to use this Music Nomad F1 oil. I literally bought this like 10 years ago, and I'm a little under halfway done with it. It lasts forever if you don't lose it or ever spill it. I'm gonna just put some on there and like rub it with a sponge so it like soaks on there, and then I'll wipe it off with a rag. And I'll probably do that like a couple times just so it seeps up enough oil. seep, soak, whatever. Move it around with the sponge. Do the sponge. You do the sponge. You do the sponge. You do the sponge. Oh, I don't want to get copyrighted. I hadn't used a sponge in a while. I usually just use a rag, but I found the sponge. But it's kind of dirty now. I'm kind of regretting it, but I'm in too deep. I'll wipe off some of the grime on there with a rag right now. I'm going to let it seep in there for a little bit. Then I'll wipe it off and maybe add a little more. I'm going to reapply real quick. Alright, so the oil's in there. Now I'm going to let it just seep in there. Let it drink some of it. Then I'll go ahead and restring it. And we'll see what she sounds like. Alright, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get her strung up. The fretboard absorbed most of that oil. Now I'm going to put these new strings on there. I like to use elixirs. They're the ones that last the freshest and brightest in my case, especially since I have really sweaty hands. These work great for me. I'm going to use 9 to 46. So, yeah. Yeah. Beefy, baby. Not super beefy, but not real light either. There's like lighter strings. These are custom light, I think. So I want to say they got heavier basses. No, I don't even know. TBH. I'm tripping. Don't listen to me. Oh, no. As always, I recommend writing on your guitar nut over here because the graphite from the pencil adds lubrication to the strings and it just helps them stay in tune and not pop as much. Nice. So I like to not have that much slack on my strings, so I try to like go maybe like 1.5 past, 1.5 pegs past. Unfortunately, I can't find my really nice wire cutters, so I have to use these really crappy ones. It is what it is. Alright, that's one. So I've changed so many strings in my lifetime that I don't really like struggle. Like I know a lot of the tricks. I mean, with electric, it's not really hard. It's pretty self-explanatory, especially if you have locking tuners. This guitar doesn't come with locking tuners. I've thought of like upgrading to them, but do I really need them? I don't think so right now at this point. But I think that would be the next upgrade that I would do to this guitar. Locking tuners. That's 2. Now that I think about it, super random, but I think this guitar was probably from the last batch of American Specials that they made. Because I think they discontinued them shortly after to make the next American Performer series. I think when I got this one, they had already made the American Performer series. So it's probably one of the last ones they made. Man, these wire cutters really suck. Alright, almost done. Just need 2 more strings now. Guys, I do not recommend the wire cutters from Walmart. The brand, that red brand, I think it's called Hyper Tough. Yeah. The Hyper Tough brand wire cutters suck. Highly do not recommend. 0 out of 10. I bought a pack that came with like 6 of them. I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna have one for each of my guitars, you know. I'll just throw one in each of my cases. Nah, dude. Not worth it. These. Highly do not recommend. Come at me, Walmart. Home Depot, though. No, I got some really nice ones at Home Depot. I just don't know where they're at. But I never struggle with those. But you know me, always losing stuff. Alright, y'all. She's all set up. New strings. Shiny fretboard. Shiny frets, so the fretboard. I'm just gonna tune her up, stretch out the strings, and then we'll see what she sounds like. Alright, y'all, so that's the end of the video. I appreciate if you stuck around for the whole thing. Make sure to like and subscribe. It'd be cool if we could make our little community grow. I appreciate all the comments that y'all leave and both all the views and stuff. And yeah, I appreciate it. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you come across one of these guitars, I would definitely cop. I love it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope y'all enjoy. Stick around for whatever video is up next. Hopefully it's another one of mine.